Hey everyone, welcome to AHN Education channel. In the last videos, we have seen about the nature and environment, right? We saw the difference between nature and the environment and about the reduce, reuse, recycle. This is a very good concept, right? We have learnt about this and what are the other things to take care of our nature and environment, and what is weather, right? The parameters that are considered to check the weather, and what is the difference between weather and climate, and how they are influenced, how the rotation and revolution of the earth influences the weather, and how sun influences the weather. We have seen about all these. And again, influence of earth's rotation on weather. This is just an elaboration of the point that we have seen earlier, right? And again, this is influence on weather. What is air? We studied about air, components of air. Air is a mixture of different gases, and we saw that nitrogen is more, not oxygen, right? I'm stressing this point again and again because it is important. Then again, about the other gases that are present, water vapor. Again, wind. What is wind? Types of winds, and how will this happen? Like, wind is the moving air, so how the air moves from one place to another. You remember, from high pressure area to low pressure area, right? And again, we saw about the types of winds. Your types of winds: the breeze, gust, gale, hurricane winds. And later we saw about the sea breeze and land breeze in detail. And that's it, right? Now let us get into the topic water. Water is one of the most important things on the earth. It's in our oceans, rivers, lakes, and even in the air. Water can change from one form to another, and it moves around the earth in a process called the water cycle. So one form to another, you know about this, right? What is that? What are the forms of matter? Solids, liquids, gases, right? Do you remember this concept? So the water changes from being liquid to water vapor. What is water vapor? Water vapor is a gas. Okay. So through the process of evaporation, the water becomes water vapor. Okay. And then I'll tell you, this is the water cycle. Okay. Evaporation, then condensation, then precipitation, and then what about this transpiration? Transpiration means evaporation through the leaves is called as transpiration. It means that water turning into water vapor from the leaves. Okay, that is called as transpiration. Precipitation means rain. Condensation means the water vapor changing into, do you remember what is meant by condensation? Gas changing into liquid, right? The same thing happens here to liquid, right? So gas turning into liquid is called as condensation. It means the water vapor will again becomes droplets of water, and when it gets too heavy for the clouds to bear, that will fall down, and it's called as rain or precipitation. Okay, this is a gist about this cycle, water cycle. Okay, and the rain that comes, it will go as a surface flow, and it will get into again back to the source, right? It will go back into oceans, rivers, or lakes, and like that, and some will percolate downwards and it will become groundwater. Okay, this happens with the rainwater. Okay, then now we have summarized in the last slide, right? Now here we will see about it again. Evaporation is when water changes from liquid to gas. Okay, we have studied about this, liquid to gas, from water form to water vapor form. This usually happens when water gets heated. How does evaporation work? The sun heats the water. What is the first thing? The sun heats the water. When the sun shines on water in oceans, lakes, rivers, or even puddles, it heats the water. Water turns into what? Water vapor. This is the second stage. As the water gets warmer, the molecules move faster and eventually turn into a gas called as water vapor. This process is called as evaporation. So what happens? As the water gets warmer, the molecules move faster and eventually turn into a gas called water vapor. Water vapor rises. Then the third step is water vapor rises. the water vapor rises up into the sky because it's lighter than the liquid water. Okay, this is why you don't see the water once it evaporates. It's now a gas in the air. Okay, the water vapor rises up in the sky because it's lighter than the liquid water. Okay, fine. This is about the evaporation. And then what is condensation? Condensation is when water vapor cools down. As the water vapor goes up, it starts to cool down. Okay, when it is sufficiently cooled down. Okay, so when the water vapor cools down and changes back into liquid water, this is opposite of evaporation, right? So water vapor changing into what? Water vapor changing into, tell me? Yes, liquid. Okay, liquid, that is in the form of drops. Okay, how does condensation work? Water vapor cools down. As water rises higher into the sky, the air gets cooler. The cool air causes the water vapor to cool down too. Okay, water vapor turns back into liquid. When the water vapor cools down, it turns back into tiny droplets of liquid water. This process is called condensation. So when the water vapor cools down, it turns into tiny droplets of liquid water. This process is called as condensation. Then clouds formation. Okay, so the first step is water vapor cools down. Second step is when that happens, what happens? The water vapor cools down into tiny droplets, and the third stage is clouds formation. The tiny water droplets gather together to form clouds. Okay, all the tiny droplets that were formed during this process of water vapor being cooled down, okay, they'll come together. These clouds are made up of millions of tiny droplets of water. So you know about the cloud formation too, right? So what is water cycle? Water cycle is the process that keeps water moving around the earth. See, what did I say? The process of water cycle starts from the rivers, oceans, some water source, right? From here it evaporates, and then condensation takes place, and then precipitation, and through the surface flow again the water reach back to the same source, right? So water is moving around, right? So it's like a big loop that never ends. Here's how it works. Water from oceans, lakes, rivers and plants turn into water vapor and rises into the sky. This is the first step of the water cycle. Okay, evaporation is the first step. Then is condensation. As the water rises, it cools down and changes back into liquid water, forming clouds. This is what? This is the second step of the water cycle. Till the cloud formation is the second step. And what is the third step? Precipitation. When the water droplets in the clouds get too heavy, they fall back to the earth as precipitation. Precipitation can be rain, snow, sleet or hail depending on the temperature, right? So you know about the rain, and there will be snow, sleet or hail too, okay, based on the temperature that this water droplets will fall back on the earth in the form of either rain, snow, sleet or hail. Collection. The water that falls on the earth collects in oceans, rivers, lakes and even underground. Okay, as I have said, some water will get percolate into the ground, right, will seep into the ground. Some of it will flow back into the sea and the cycle starts all over again. So that is the reason we call it as water cycle. Okay, you got the point, right? Next, why is water cycle important? Okay, why so much about water cycle? We have spent almost like 4 slides or something on this concept of water cycle because it is so important for sustaining life on the earth. Okay, so it's better that we understand it properly and remember those are the very important things, concepts, and at any stage of your life you need that. Okay, that's something basic wherein everyone thinks that that is assumed to be known. Okay, so please keep it in your mind, understand the processes whatever I have said: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, right? In the condensation itself you will have cloud formation too, okay? And then again surface runoff. I forgot to mention about transpiration, right? Evaporation and transpiration are like they are like, it's only that this sort of evaporation will be from the leaves, okay? The same concept as evaporation, but it will be from the leaves. Water will be will become water will be taken from the leaves as a source, okay? Next, why is water cycle important? The water cycle is how we get fresh water to drink. Rain and snow bring fresh water to rivers, lakes and even underground sources. Okay, for now it's okay to assume that we get fresh water to drink, but with the concepts of pollution and all that, you can say that this is partly true. Okay, so yes, when all this happens, from the clouds what we get is for sure good water, right? Fresh water. But what happens when it is passing through the layers of all the pollution and all that? Many pollutants are getting attached to it, and this is some other concept in the higher grades we can see about it, okay? But just to let you know, I'm telling you. Or if at all you feel like this is getting too much, just don't think about it, just say that fresh water to drink. And what happens? Helps plants grow. And again I'm reiterating, for this, for the 4th grade, it's enough that if you say the water cycle provides fresh water, don't think about pollution and all these things, okay? It's because if you think in that manner, again in your Olympiad, if they say that water cycle provides fresh water, is it true or not? Then you may get confused as what should be the answer. Will the pollution gets mixed up and all that? No, don't think about all that. It will provide fresh water because as and when the water cycle happens, the water that we get from the clouds is fresh water. So it definitely provides fresh water, okay? Next, it helps plants grow. As we all know, right? Plants needs water, and with the water cycle you get rain. With the rain, the plants will feel happy, right? Plants need water to grow, and the water cycle makes sure they get it. When it rains, plants can soak up the water they need from the soil. Cleans the water. The water cycle helps clean the earth's water. When water evaporates, it leaves behind any dirt or salt. So the water vapor is pure. This pure water can then fall as clean rain. You got it right? So when you find water, see, the surface water will pick up so much of dust and all that, and it will get settled down here, right? So when it is here, it is along with the dust, and when this water evaporates, it can't take the dust particles along with it, right? So all the dust particles will be left behind, and the water in the form of water vapor will rise up, okay? So what you get is pure water vapor. And when this pure water vapor condenses and later when the precipitation happens, what you get is fresh water, okay? And what is the other thing it does? It regulates the climate. The water cycle helps keep the Earth's climate in balance by distributing heat and moisture around the planet, right? So it is not like when it takes the water, when the evaporation happens here, it again falls into the same source. Nothing like that, okay? The source, when the source is here, it's not that the rain will fall only here, okay? It may be in some other part of the world, okay? So in this manner, the water cycle keeps the Earth's climate in balance by distributing heat and moisture around the planet. When we take about this concept now, this is a very big concept which you may have to see it in around 8th 9th grades or something like that, okay? And what I'm saying is, it's a very huge thing, okay? So for now it's enough if you know that the water cycle regulates climate, okay? Protecting nature. the most important aspect of this would be planting more trees and keeping in control cutting of the trees. We have already seen through the uses of plants and importance of plants in protecting the environment. For this, there should be less deforestation. Deforestation means cutting down the trees. And there should be more of afforestation. Afforestation means planting more trees. So that is how you protect the nature. Okay, we have seen everything in the chapter plants. What are the uses of plants? Okay, you should do less of deforestation and more of afforestation, and these terms are so important for your Olympiads. Okay, that's how you protect the nature. Okay, we are done with nature and environment. Okay, nature and environment is all done. We have covered all the important concepts, and we have even went in depth about some concepts that are important for your higher grades. Okay, so you just watch it again, okay, once or twice more. If at all you have any confusion, you can even put it in the comments and I can explain to you further. And if you want me to go more slow, I can do that too. Okay, do let me know in the comments about it. Okay, and I have actually reduced the size of the videos to only for you to not feel bored while while hearing to lengthy videos. Okay, so 15 minutes per day. Okay, maybe even if you have to go through it twice, it will amount only to 30 minutes. Okay, with that you will cover one chapter, right? Not, if not one chapter, take two chapters. Okay, sorry, if not one chapter, consider it to be half chapter. It's enough, right? It's good enough if you cover in 30 minutes. If you can cover, not even 30 minutes, if you hear to the video for 15 minutes, then in 15 minutes and another 15 minutes, it means another day, okay, you will cover one chapter. Okay, and that too we went in depth and we understood everything. Okay, that is the reason I have cut shortened the size of the videos to around 15 to 16 minutes. Okay, enjoy, watch the videos so that it will sit in your brain. Okay, bye, see you for now.